Scott, good to see you. Can we start off with team news first of all for the game?
Team news, yeah, we're all good to be fair. Mucho comes back into the fold as well. Players what have been injured, as in the ones Tom Cairney and Terence Congola they still need some work. But everyone else has come out of the busy fixtures last week well, so we're all good.
Now, a lot of the talk, Scott, has been about how Fulham are chasing down Newcastle United. As far as you're concerned, how many teams do you think are actually in this fight, and how many points do you think would be the magic number?
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be fair. I'm honestly not focusing on that, not focusing on who's in it, who's around it. My message has been very consistent throughout this year and throughout this season, and it remains the same, really. Can't really control what others are doing, and I think we've all seen over the course of time in our seasons, teams that have put runs together, teams that have won football matches can get themselves out of positions, and that's our main focus. We come out of a busy schedule last week where we got some points on the ball and done very, very well, and that's the main aim going forward. Who we drag in, who's around us is really irrelevant. It's, I know if we win games with 13 games left, I don't know if we can win some football matches here, we'll stay up. So that's the main focus. Otherwise, it's a roller coaster of emotion and a ride every weekend, and I want us to worry about us, and that's what we've done this year very, very well, and we'll continue to do that.
I know you don't want to look too far ahead, Scott, but there is that big news that potentially your last game of the season against Newcastle will be allowed fans at Craven Cottage. Just on that theme, is there the chance that Fulham and other teams who are at home on that final day may be perceived to have a competitive advantage? Does it question the integrity of the league at all?
Yeah, maybe again, Ramesh, but it is some way off, and we live in a world which is very unpredictable, and what someone comments or someone hopes may be the case in a week's time is normally changed in this current climate. So again, really, mate, without really not wanting to give you an answer or confirm anything, it's too far away now. Things can change drastically, and I think I've realised, and the team have realised in a short space of time, we've been under these rules and lockdown rules, that things change permanently, and something you do need to be is you need to be flexible and probably not listen too much of it, and work it out when it actually hits you on your lap. And so yeah, that's the same with that one, really.
I know you can't, obviously you can't look too far ahead, but just looking at the penultimate fixture, would you be in favour potentially if round 37 was pushed back so that every single team would have a home game in front of fans before the end of the season?
Yeah, again, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I honestly don't know, mate. It's round 37. I don't know what round we're in, but it's some way off. So yeah, I mean, look, as you can imagine, there's a lot of things what we're all trying and aiming to do on a daily basis what are very relevant, and without being rude, yeah, that's not one of them at the moment.
Okay, look, fair enough. Look, it's Palace next. Let's focus on that game. It's Roy Hodgson's Crystal Palace. He was, of course, in charge of one of the ultimate escapes involving Fulham back in 2008. Do you look at examples of teams who have done that, particularly Fulham, who have done it in the past, and maybe use that as motivation to your players?
Yeah, of course, there's scenarios what have happened, and history tells you that is the case, and of course they're good guidelines, or there's certain things what you understand, what you may need to do, and past history tells you that other teams have maybe done that. So of course it's a good reference, but I think as always the main reference is us, and understanding that we're going to need to win more games than we've got on the board at this present moment in time, and 13 games left, we're going to need to win some football matches. And I think we've realised that probably over the last few weeks, our approach has probably changed a little bit, in the sense that we now need to win games. And that's not to say, of course, it wasn't a focus before, but there's been a lot of things, and now we need to win. We've had a lot of draws, we now need to win some games. So, but yeah, look, no denying that teams what have been in and around this position are always things what you can look at and aspire from, really.
Last couple from me, Scott. You talked about good references there, and talking about Fulham's escape that time. There's a game between Palace and Fulham that you're involved in were one of the greatest Premier League goals that has been scored, arguably, from Kasami. Is that something that perhaps you show the players to motivate them?
No, not really. I mean, look, I remember that goal. It was an incredible goal, absolutely fantastic goal. Of course, there's parts of London derbies and what London derbies are, and the history around that, which are often constant references from my behalf with the team and the players, because certain players are new into this club, this football club, and maybe don't understand the dynamics of certain games. And at the weekend, there's no denying this is first and foremost, it's a massive game for both clubs, but it's a London derby, and what that brings and how the fans perceive that is vitally important, that my players understand that. So, of course, it's always important.
Just finally, I don't know whether you've seen the video of Anthony Robinson playing the piano. He's very, very good. Just wanted to know if you're aware of that. And also, is there anything that you do, a hobby or anything like that, that makes you be able to just switch off, considering how much pressure a relegation battle brings?
No, I'm not aware of Anthony playing piano. So I'll make that my aim when I leave here to find out exactly that. I do like the piano. So I like to see exactly how good he is, and he ain't just playing a little basic tune. But even if so, so I look forward to that. Regarding myself, not really. I get your head down and work hard, and go home and spend some time with the family when you can. That's the most important thing. Take your mind off things as much as you can, because, like you said, it's an intense time for every one of us and all the people out there. So when you can just take a little bit of a breather and a bit of a breath, we try and do that.
Thanks very much. He's very good, by the way.
Perfect. I'll have a look at that. Cheers, Dan.
Thanks, Dharmesh. We'll move over to Sue Thurl, please, Premier League Productions.
Scott, hello, good afternoon. Are you okay?
I'm good, Sue. Yourself?
Good, thank you. Forgive me, I just missed the top of your first answer. I don't know if you mentioned Alexander Mitrovic in his health status. How is he?
Yeah, Mitro's back with us. So he's obviously had some time off due to the virus. So he's now had a good few days of training. So we're monitoring him still closely, because obviously to see the effects that the virus may have come. But at this present moment in time, he seems all well. So that's good.
You mentioned a roller coaster of emotions. It can be during a long league season with highs and lows. And in a way, he amplifies that more than anybody with the ups and downs he's had this season. I just wonder, from your perspective, how big of a challenge it's been as a manager to keep him positive when the things have happened to him.
It's a challenge. Of course it is. It's a challenge every player has, and they have their dips in form, not just Mitro this year. We could name, and I could mention, a number of players in this squad that have been through that. And every professional, when you're playing, you have them moments. And at times, it's probably been difficult for Mitro. Certainly on the start of the season, was relentless in the pursuit of getting us into the Premier League, and then a quick turnaround. Had an injury back end of last season. Obviously, he didn't play in the final because of that. I think he'd be the first to say it's been a bit stop-start. But my constant message to Mitro, to the team, to the players is keep facing up, keep fronting up, keep working hard. And it's very cliche, of course, and sounds just like words. But of course, there's more in it than that than just working hard. There's detail. There's training habits. There's that constant belief of wanting to get better. And I'm a firm believer in history. Tells me, my history and my experiences tell me that if you do that, and when I've done that, it's worked, and I've come out the other side. So that's my constant message to Mitro, and not just Mitro, just the other players. What have been through it likewise.
You had a really good February, unbeaten in your last 4, and also those 3 clean sheets have been key as well, haven't they? I just wonder if you could speak a little to the contribution of your goalkeeper this season, which has been mighty at times, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, look, to be honest, Sue, I think we we've been very good defensively over a large period now. We've been very solid, and of course, the clean sheets you mentioned of late have been vitally important. And to that, the person you're asking about in Alphonse has been paramount, really. So we've got unfortunate enough to have two top-class keepers here. One of a younger stature and a younger age in Marek Rodak, who will be a world-class keeper, who is obviously learning and being around a keeper at this present moment in time who we see on a daily basis in games is world-class. So of course he's been vitally important for us, along with the defence. But Alphonse has brought his experience, he's brought his qualities, he's brought his personality to this team, and I think you're seeing that week in, week out.
And just last one from me, Scott. Palace did you a favour, didn't they, with that win over Brighton, who are also within your sights now, just 4 points in front of you. What have you made of Palace this season?
Yeah, look, they picked up some really good results, and I think, you know, I've nothing but admiration and respect for Roy. I played under Roy at England, and I know, you know, the detail and how well organised these teams are, and I think you see that from the Palace team, really. So, you know, at times they've been very good this year and picked up, like I said, some really good results. So, be a tough game for us the weekend. I think we understand that. You know, they beat us early on in the season, so it's certainly a game we want to try and go into and try and win.
Okay, I wish you well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks to Emma Jones, BBC London.
Hello, Scott. On Roy, he's known for the way that he works with his teams. I wonder if you took anything from the way he managed you that you've taken into your own managing.
There's elements. You know, I worked with Roy really briefly with England, really, but his organisation and his defensive setup certainly is an element that, of course, it's something I looked at and I understand the detail and the work, what goes into that, really. So, yeah, a very good man, Roy. His personal skills, the way he is as a human being in terms of his relationship with the players is very good as well. So, of course, you know, them experiences what I had alongside was something which, you know, it's always something I'm open to and trying to look at.
I've asked him in the past if he'd like to be a young manager in the game now, and whether or not he thinks it's tougher for younger managers, and he thinks it is. Obviously, you don't know what it's like to be a 73-year-old manager in the game at the moment, but I wonder if you think it is tough being a young manager.
No, I don't think it's tough. I don't think it's tough. I mean, look, if you was to say to me, am I still going to have a career like Roy has at his age and do what he's done? I'm not sure. You know, the work ethic, the resilience and everything is quite incredible. And like I said, nothing but admiration. Regarding myself, this is everything. You know, I retired really early and decided to come into management, and it's everything I expected, really. All the pressures, the excitement, the adulation, everything, the work is exactly how I expected it, really. Yeah, I love every bit of it and I enjoy every bit of it, really. So whether I'll still be going as long as Roy, or whether I'll be fortunate to go as long as Roy, I'm not sure. But certainly, yeah, it's fine.
I know you've sort of answered this by saying that you're thinking one game at a time, but with the possibility of fans being able to come back into games before the end of the season, do you think if fans can return to games, they should return to games?
Yeah, look, I don't think there's anything more. You know, certainly the team, the football clubs, nothing more than fans coming back into stadiums. One, you know, to the support of the team, financial. You know, a lot of football clubs now have gone nearly a year now without any revenue coming in from the gates, and more importantly, in terms of we had 2,000 fans for us against Liverpool, and it was incredible. So I think we're all looking forward to that moment. Whether it's this season, whether I think it's right or wrong with this season, I think, like I said last time, I think it's probably a conversation, or certainly a question to answer nearer the time, because at this moment it's just ifs and buts, really. So until that moment happens, then let's see where we are.
I think the questions are being asked now because I believe the Premier League clubs are going to be voting on that soon. So I think it's whether or not it's considered fair that fans could return to certain grounds and give them home advantage.
Yeah. Again, if that's the case, and us as a football club will decide what we think and go from there. Like I said, Emma, I think I've realised over this course of time, and I think we all have, even if something gets voted in tomorrow, it could get voted out the next day. So really, I just take things with a pinch of salt. Really, I take things for what they are. This is game 37, match day 37. Between now and then, there's a lot of football, a lot of months, a lot of weeks to go by. We're living in a world where at any moment in time, a click of a finger, we go from things looking very bright and looking like we're going in the right direction to crisis. So certainly, I don't want to get on that roller coaster of a journey, really, because I realised last year when we came back that it was constant planning for something else to plan again, to plan something very different. So I've not even thought about it, to be honest with you. I'm just thinking about the current and where we are.
And finally, from me, I think since the first day of the season, people have been asking you about, your fears of relegation and the fact that you're going straight back down to the Championship. I think considering recent results and where you now are in the table and the number of games left to play, I think you're starting to persuade people Fulham might actually survive in this league.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it ain't my job to persuade. It's not my job. It's not my target or not my aim, to be quite honest with you, to persuade people what have doubted, to convince people that we're a decent team. It's an irrelevance to me. I think as a team and as a football club, we had that at the start of the season. My sole aim is what I see and the belief I see in this team, and giving the team belief to operate and execute in this division. And I feel we've done that over a long period of time now in this division. So that's the main focus then. And at the end of it, there's no right or wrongs. Our aim is to try and stay in this division. At the moment, with 13 games left, we give ourselves a fighting chance. There's still going to be some battles along the way. I think we all understand that. But we give ourselves a chance.
Thank you. Good luck.